Welcome to today's edition of Top Job with me, Mwenesi Musalia. For me, this is a special edition because it touches on an industry that I am not only familiar with, but I'm very passionate about as well, and that is public relations. In a world that is characterized with social media, new media, fake news, and so much in between, this lady has stood out and distinguished herself. I'm talking about Mary Njoki, the managing director and founder of Glass House PR. She is an award-winning entrepreneur, having won the top 40 under 40 women in business leadership for Africa, as well as the Young Founders Award. Mary is going to speak to me today about what exactly it takes to run a successful business, some of the challenges that come with being a female entrepreneur, as well as how important it is to stay grounded in your faith in God, as well as the environment around you. You know how sometimes people come on social media and they say, well, whatever the government did or whatever projects they launched, that was all just PR. Well, is it really? Today I speak with someone who is a master of her craft, one of the foremost entrepreneurs in the public relations space, Mary Njoki, founder and managing director of Glass House PR. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
I hope that people won't say that this is just PR.
No, it should not be.
Thank you so much for joining us on Top Job.
Thank you for having me.
And I, as someone who has followed your career and who has a huge interest and not just a practice in public relations, maybe before we get into your story, can you tell me what PR is all about? Can you define public relations for us?
PR is positioning a brand, and PR should be authentic and strategic.
So there's nothing like...
Maybe I should put those in one sentence, but that's it.
Authentic and strategic.
Yeah, and positioning a brand.
And positioning a brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you always know that you wanted to do PR?
No.
So let's now get into your story. How did you start? Where did you grow up? Your family, your background. Tell me a little bit about...
Are you ready for the story?
I am super ready, Mary. Super ready.
Okay, cool. So I grew up in the village. A place called Garariga in Limuru. I mean, when you're growing up in the village, what is PR even? And so I thought my life would be normal, like where you go to primary school, secondary school, college, you get married, you work, and you die.
That was the plan that had been set for you there in the village?
Yes, that's what I knew. That's what I knew then.
Nice.
But then I discovered that I'm an anomaly, so I'm not normal. I'm not like everyone else. And the sign that I'm not normal, I finished high school at the age of 16. This is the 844 system.
Wow.
So not the other system. So I finished at the age of 16. I got a good grade, B for boy. So
this is KCSE, like Form 4, you went through Standard 8 and Form 4 and you finished at 16.
Yes.
Amazing.
We could not afford for me to go to campus or college. Then the year that followed, my mom had taken a loan. She was a primary school teacher. She retired. Okay. So she had taken a loan for me to go through high school. So you have to wait to finish paying for your loan before now you get another loan. So by the year that followed now, she had a loan for me to go to college. Yeah. So she managed to get some money where we'd pay college. So I went to Graffin's College to study BIT.
Business Information Technology.
Yes.
Copy.
In that period, I was really looking out for a job. And then a friend of mine told me, oh, I have this friend who owns a software company. It was called Softlink. And when the lady came to meet me or to interview me, I thought she was going to put me in the production department. But she put me in marketing. Of course, the first month I was not very happy. But then I got into it, and I remember, so I was a salesperson at the beginning, so I remember we were selling websites and softwares, and I remember walking from one building to the other, selling the softwares and websites. And people were like, what are websites? You don't need website. And they would like chase you out of their office. Then you'd go to the next building, and you'd have like a whole bunch of business cards to now go back to the office to show that you visited so many companies. And one day, this is what changed. So one day, my boss came to the office and he gave me a card of this guy. I can't say his name, Mike Moy.
Sure.
So he gave me Mike Moy's card. So I called Mike Moy. I was selling a website to him. Then Mike Moy tells me, Mary, you need to come to this meeting called BNI, where we meet in the morning over breakfast and network, and you'll get more business. So I told my boss about it. My boss was like, okay, let me pay for you. So I remember the first time to go for this breakfast. Remember, I still come from Limuru. I hadn't moved to Nairobi.
Oh, wow.
So
we're coming from all the way from Limuru to Nairobi to do this job?
Yes.
Amazing.
Upper Hill. I was invited for BNI.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Limuru. You know, I had to wake up at 3 a.m. because BNI starts at 6:30 a.m. and the meeting was at Pan-Afric Hotel.
Wow.
So I had to wake up at leave at 3 a.m. So there are these matatus that leave the village with Mama Wasoko, the women who go to the market. So they leave at that time.
And you were there now with them?
With them, yes.
Like, I'm going to go with you to Pan-Afric.
To Pan-Afric.
Fantastic.
So you get to Pan-Afric, you freshen up, and then you go to the room and you look like you just come in from West End. Yeah. So I get into the meeting and I was amazed by what was going. Okay, first I'd never been to such a hotel. I'm 19.
Wow.
I've never been to such a hotel. I've never taken such breakfast. I remember that day I took breakfast. Well, I never ate for the whole day. Anyway, so yeah, so I was amazed to see people who owned small businesses and they were networking and making money. Right. So that amazed me. But the best thing is that day, my company, the company that I was employed for, we got like 4 website requests.
From that meeting?
Yes.
Excellent.
So my boss was happy. My boss was like, oh, we are registering you to be a BNI member. And yeah, so from that, it became a regular thing. So every Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., Mama Wasoko, India CCL to Nairobi, breakfast, and I met so many people. The company made a lot of money. And I think I was young, I was authentic, I was not afraid of anyone. I didn't care who you, I'll just come and sell to you what I'm selling. And that was really awesome. But then at that time, I also joined K Crew.
What does that stand for?
Kubamba Crew. So they used to have these events and they used to have like a Bible study every Tuesday evening. So I'd go for their Bible study and I ended up being a volunteer with them.
What impact did being part of K Crew have on your bigger journey?
Being at a K Crew, that's where I learned what PR is or what media is. Okay. Yes, so I'm working in this software company. I'm volunteering at K Crew, so we'd have TSOs towards the end of the year.
What's a TSO?
TSO, they were events they would hold every 31st, totally sold out events. Okay. Yes, so I'm ushering, I'm queuing artists to stay, like I'm understanding the event space, right. I'm seeing the media. So I mean, K Crew played that role where now I was able to understand these things. I'm meeting people who are now the journalists. So I had a relationship with them then. So later in life, if I call you, like we had a relationship. It's not that I'm just calling you to pitch. It's not, you know. I've known you from TSO, from this. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, so relationships in the industry, and God designed it to be like that. So I'm in this software company. Then I get to a place where maybe I was too proud, like I was the best employee. And then I go to BNI, and this guy is like, he owns now another IT company, but they were dealing in hardware. He's like, Mary, can you work for me? I'll pay you this much. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, sure. Why not? So I moved, I switched companies, and I remember going to she trained me on a lot as well. I forgot to mention that my first employer really trained me. I didn't know how to answer a phone, I didn't know how to dress up. Like, there are so many things that she really trained me on. And of course, BNI taught me how to speak before people, all these things. So by the time I'm coming to this guy's company, I'm polished up.
And how was it working with that company? How long did you work for them for?
1.5 years. And I remember that's when now I started discovering who I am. So now I'm not the best. Then I'm like, oh my God, why is it that I'm not the best? Then,
so you come from here and now you're...
Yes.
The money is good, but...
Not even. It was, I don't know whether it's good. They added 5K on, is it? Anyway, I won't say what about. But anyway, I was still living in Limuru, but I discovered that I was enjoying what I was doing more at K Crew.
Got you. That was still continuing.
Yes, I was still continuing. I'm enjoying what I'm doing at K Crew than what I do at work.
Right.
So I'd leave work like
And
on
Kekru is not
Tuesday.
paying you, huh?
Yeah, on Tuesday I'm so excited to go to Kekru to volunteer, to talk to people, to see the media, to do all these things. Like it's really exciting than what I'm doing at work. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening to me? Am I losing it? And I remember now I started studying image consulting,
Okay.
consulting online. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should start an image consulting thing.
Right.
So I went, I'm still employed in this company. I went, registered an image consulting firm, Diva Image Experts.
Right.
Anyway, so I registered it and I get one client who paid, I think I made 500 per a whole year, for a whole year. So I started studying this PR thing online and I'm like, oh, PR is exciting, oh my God. And then now I went back to Desta University. Now we could afford, someone helped me to pay my fees. So.
Okay.
We could afford to go back to campus. So I went to Desta, started studying communication, major PR. So January, I remember it was January 2012. We are supposed to report to work like tomorrow. We received a text, hey, Mary Njoki, I don't know who and who, do not report to work tomorrow. So this guy fired us through a text message.
Wow.
And you know, the way you're supposed to be sad, I was so happy. I was like, it's not me who quit. But I was like, am I serious? But I'm like, it's not me who... I'm like, oh my God, am I being serious right now? So immediately I did that. I called Ndanya and I'm like, oh, I have this presentation to make to you. Can I come? So I went to Ndanya and I was making, this is 2012. I was telling her digital marketing is the next big thing. We need to start, for us to set ourselves apart in the industry as this PR company, we need to start doing digital. But maybe her mind was not yet there. Right. So we were doing a few things here and there online, but we never fully explored that. I started working for her and 4 months later I quit. So when I was working with her, I learned so much. I was an admin, PR, they didn't have many stuff, media relations, everything. And how I learned now what media relations was they had an event, a huge event. So I had to Google how to write a press release. So I'm like, oh, this is how you write it.
Dr. Google.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I wrote it, then I'm like, okay, so who am I inviting? And I called Dan Mangi, remember, through K-Crew and all these things.
You had all these relationships.
Yes, so I called him, now he was new on Nation Media. I'm like, we have this event, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, it's newsworthy. So he tells me he's going to come, or he's going to tell his colleague who is going to come. Somehow the press release went across, I don't know how, it went across all media houses. So on the day of the event, we had everyone from every media house. And the client was happy because he was on TV. He wasn't even happy about the decor, or there were people, he was happy that he'll be on TV. And I'm like, oh my God, this is PR, this is so amazing. Because I could see how the client was satisfied and was very happy about that. So that made me think, oh.
Right now, I actually want us to just take a break and pause, because as beautiful as that story is, we need to at least pay some bills. But when we come back with Mary Njoki, we're going to speak to you about your new business that you now started going into, Glass House PR. And we'll also get to chat to a couple of your friends and colleagues and find out, are you truly this amazing person that you are, or is there more to it? Let's take a break and we come back on Top Job. Welcome back to Top Job, as we are here with the fantastic and, can I call you enigmatic?
Okay.
Amazing female entrepreneur, Mary Njoki, founder and managing director of Glass House PR. And Mary, you know, before the break we were talking about your story, and you were now doing all of these things. You've just quit this job because you're frustrated. You're sitting there thinking, you know what? I want to do all of these things. I finally found my calling. I've just entered this amazing space of media relations, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. I need to just leave and do my thing, and you're 23 years old. So now what happened after you quit?
So, of course, after I quit, I went back. I was still going back every day, but now I was at home.
Yes.
And I remembered
in Limuru.
In Garariga.
In Garariga.
Oh, good job.
Thank you.
I remembered I'd registered Diva Image Experts.
Yes.
So remember, I'd done marketing, so I'd met all these people.
Yeah.
So I created, I bought a domain and I started emailing all these people. And I remember I emailed this particular person and they're like, really, what kind of a name is this? Just come to my office. So I came to his office and he's like, what do you want your company, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want a company that it's not an image consulting, but it's PR, it's combining PR and technology because I'm very passionate about technology.
Right.
Then he was like, what do you want your company to represent? I'm like, clear communication and transparency, something like a glass. Then he was like, okay, let's write names down and then come up with something.
Amazing.
So we wrote, and we didn't find anything. But as I was going out, he texted me, what about Glasshouse PR? And I'm like, yeah, this is it. So I started marketing Glasshouse PR, and that's how I started. So my first jobs, I'd go to small companies who I knew, that's all I knew from BNI, and I'd tell them I do your digital media, and they'd be like, okay, fine, we'll pay you 5K per month. I'd be like, okay, at least it's my company.
Yes.
So 5K per month, and you have to come to Nairobi, I think, every Friday to give them reports and all. One day we get a call. I get a call from Google.
I like the way at that time, because I am a company,
yes.
So we get a call,
yes.
me, my laptop, and my modem.
Yes. We got a call from Google.
Fantastic.
And they're like, hi, I would like to talk to Mary. I'm like, hold for Mary.
Yeah.
So they
Nice.
talked to me, to the other Mary who had a different voice.
Right.
So they're like, we're inviting me to pitch. I'm like, oh my God. So I went
To
and
pitch for what?
for PR at
Wow.
Google. This is the first, I think it was I was 5 months old.
Wow.
So I went to Daystar. Now I'm still at Daystar. When did I pitch? Yeah, I was still at Daystar.
Still studying PR at that time, and now Google,
Yeah.
the biggest company in the world probably, is
Yes.
calling you to pitch for PR for them.
Yes.
Keep it going.
Yes. So I went to Daystar, picked some guys. We had a meeting. We're like, so we're going to pitch. You have to say you ask for glasses. We are okay. So they're like, yes. So we came up with really nice ideas. We went and pitched, but as we were pitching, they kept saying, this is more of marketing and this is PR. And the lady there helped us to narrow down to PR. And we were shortlisted until there were 2 agencies that were left.
You're joking.
I'm not joking. Wait for it. So then they later, I think, shortlisted us. So I'm called, I'm like, hey, you're going to sign a contract tomorrow with lawyers from London. I'm like, oh, okay. But now we have to research about Glasshouse, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Anyway, the next day we were not called, but I called. They're like, yeah, we will get back to you. Then a week passed, okay, we'll get back to you. And we had spent like a whole month Googling about Google, coming up with these great ideas
Right.
with these young people. I had told them, you need to open dollar accounts. I'll be paying you in dollars. So and then it never happened.
Right.
I think they either Googled and they found out.
And they're like, okay, well, yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
not yet there, But I remember now when they finally said, it's okay, we've decided to invite other PR companies to pitch. And I'm
Right.
thinking, really?
Mm.
I remember sleeping. I slept for 3 days. I'm like, I'm done with
Right.
this thing. Like,
Yeah.
why? And I remember now this is where God comes in. And I
Yes.
remember that Sunday I went to church and I was talking to someone. And I'm always talking to people. Just talking to him who was a visitor. He's like, you know what? God has given you so much wisdom to do that which He's called you to do. You don't need special education, just walk in boldness. And I'm like, you have no, because he had no, if it was someone from the church, you'd be like, you know me, you know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. He had no idea. So this must be God speaking to me.
Yes.
So that was for me was a sign to keep going. Later on, I started working with artists or other personal brands. So I did some work for Juliani.
Yes.
I did some work for Uche Agu, he's Nigerian artist. Who else did I work with? Some hip hop artists from some what did we call it? Mad Love Lounge.
Right.
Yeah. So I just do their strategies and help position. A few days later, I get an inbox from Facebook. So remember, I'm not that busy. So I'm sure they wrote to many agencies, but I'm not busy. And I remember I had this experience with Google, so I know how international companies look at PR. They're looking at pure communication strategy and how you're going to position them, etc. So I get this email from Facebook, and I get back immediately, and we get the job.
In that point, you've now gotten your big break.
Yeah.
Facebook as a client, but they've given you access to now all these other clients,
Yeah.
these 20 SMEs and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah.
And now you're working, you're growing, you're getting all these jobs, and you're becoming an industry name.
Yes.
So people are now coming, and inevitably, you will be taken advantage of.
Yes.
And how then do you start to
Let's talk about
to
Heshan.
fortify
Let's talk about
yourself
Heshan.
as a company, as a
and
business,
maybe
and as a
any
person?
lessons learned.
Because it's some of the things that come about with being famous is that people will come and ride on your good name.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen?
So I met Heshan on Twitter, and he had been on Forbes. And they had said he was the youngest billionaire in Kenya. And I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. So we start chatting, and then he's like, I'll come to meet you in your office and we can have a conversation. So he came to the office, and I'm pitching. I'm like, yeah, can I do your PR? I'm the one who, and he's like, yeah, awesome. Then I'm like, how are you going to pay? He's like, we can do events where the glass house takes 60% and I take 40%, and I'm excited. I'm like, oh, that's cool. When I'm representing Heshan, the name Glasshouse PR will also be out there. So I called everyone, called Jeff Konage, called everyone, and was on every platform that he needed to be on. And then he was good on his Twitter, so he would use his Twitter now to support the media relations that we were doing. Then we started doing now Hash Talks. These were events where he would come and talk to young people. And we'd have like 100 to 150 young people come in, and they'd be inspired. And yeah, so over time, I noticed the story was changing. But I believed in this person so much, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he forgot. But then one day I approached Nation Media. I was like, we need to do a show for entrepreneurs, like a Shark Tank on radio. And I have a billionaire with me who can be doing this show. And I remember we planned everything. Then we were about to sign, and Nation Media was like, we need his papers and KRA and all these things. So that's where the papers went missing. So I needed to get to understand where he's coming from. But even in this conversation, he still lied to me.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God. And I remember maybe I did the press release out of emotion, but it worked out together for good. So I did a press release, and I said, I'm no longer working with this guy. And we don't think he's authentic.
And that's taking responsibility. That's grabbing the bull by the horns and saying, you know what, we're going to get ahead of this thing.
Yeah.
Come and buy it.
Yeah.
Amazing. And that's a great example of how you can literally take lemon juice and turn it into lemonade, and it worked out for the better.
Yeah.
Right now, Mary, before I speak to one of your close friends and someone from your office, where are you now? What do you see as the future for yourself? Tell me a little bit about the plans for Mary for the next 5 years.
So where we are, I can say we've grown, and we are now, this is our 7th year. Of course, there are many lessons I've learned throughout the journey. I've become better with the clients that we work with. I've discovered more of PR with me, and I think you asked me earlier. And I think like the companies we're working for, they're looking for thought leadership. So PR is about establishing thought leadership. Right. So I'm learning more as I interact with clients. Mistakes I've made, maybe hiring wrong, and that has been, or not having people at a particular point. So these are things that I've learned over the time. So for the next 5 years, I want to be more of the one focusing on the business and allowing now the company to have a system and a structure and it's able to run even when I'm away. Such that if I die today, Glasshouse PR will continue. So it's not, I'm not the Glasshouse. That Glasshouse is by itself, and I'm Mary.
One piece of advice for the youth who want to get into PR today?
I'll say advice to the youth that want to do their own thing.
Okay, good.
I think it's just discovering who you are and understanding the strengths that you have and use them because I'm a people person. Probably that's why I ended up in this PR thing, despite me wanting to be a software developer, which is good. I understand software as etc. But I think it's to harness what you have and take advantage of the strength that you have and to trust God. That I remember 1 week ago, I was having a conversation with one of my employees. And she's like, people were asking me whether you know everything. And I'm like, I'm telling them, she's not even qualified, because I'm not qualified. I had to step out of this time. So I never finished my degree.
Right.
So I don't even have the PR degree, so if you're looking at papers, really. But the experience over the years has qualified me, and God has qualified me and trusted me with Glasshouse, because I know Glasshouse could exist even if I was not born. So it's a big assignment for me from God. So that's how I look at it. And I think people should go back to God, understand who they are, and allow God to give them assignments. And we were created for different things, and He always gives us when we go back to Him.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So now, based on that inspiring conclusion, I'm going to sit down with a close friend of yours who happened to join us this morning. Okay. In fact, I was talking to her earlier, so I just want to pick her brain a little bit and find out a bit more about you, so that without the benefit of you putting PR in it.
Okay, cool.
Is that fine?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate it. No interview is complete without speaking to someone who actually works with Mary on a daily basis. Lydia, welcome.
Thank you, Manasi.
Good stuff. Now tell me, Lydia, how is it working with Mary? How is she as a boss?
So Mary is an interesting person, first of all. She is someone everyone should look up to. So I have, for the while that I've been working with her, she has been a person that explains to you your job in a good way. She's a good communicator. She's all about communications to the public, but even in the office, she's a great communicator. She tells you, this is what I want, in a clear way, and she's very, very consistent. That is something I really like about her. And
what's your role at Glasshouse?
So I'm the operations manager. I am her deputy, so to say.
In terms of your own strategic direction, how would you say you and Mary work together to complement each other? Do you guys do the same? Are you the same person?
I could say we are almost alike, but she's very big on business development. So when I came in as operations manager, I have come in to make sure the systems in the company are working well, so that she's able to focus outside. Because 80%, when you have a good support system, you're able to ask for something in 5 minutes there, so you're not getting stuck out there. You ask Lydia, I need this from the office, it's there right away.
Have you ever seen Mary under pressure?
One time, yes.
Yeah.
And you have to calm her down. She's a calm person, but well, you have to tell her, so don't be too emotional about this. I am going to help you handle this, so don't be worried. So I've seen her under pressure. How she handles it is she will think, probably count. She will say, well, this thing is going to get into me, but how do we handle this? And the other good thing about her is that she asks people also. She knows, believes she doesn't know everything, so it's good when you ask people in the team. So how do we handle this?
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Lydia. I wish we would have more time.
Yeah.
I want to speak to a friend of hers now and just get a little bit more personal information, but I really appreciate the time, and congratulations on the great work. I hope you guys hit your vision for Glasshouse in years to come.
Thank you, Manasi.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So the next time you read, see, or hear anything in the media, know that it is likely to be more than just PR. Listening to Mary Njoki today, the issue of transparency is super important when it comes to public relations, and authenticity is at the heart of media. Thank you so much for watching Top Job with me, Mwenesi Musalia, and remember, it's all about power moves only.